Monday, September 21. And of course, as promised, when we were giving you the rundown, we said that we are going to be having a special lady join us this morning inside the Sunday Morning Show. She is a 23-year-old youth advocate and newly minted senator, Gabrielle Morris, of course, hailing from the parish of St. James. Good morning to you, Senator.
Good morning, good morning. How are you?
I am good. And even better to have you on the show this morning.
Thanks for having me. Really glad to be here to talk to you guys.
Yes, and we're happy to have you, as we said. Now, of course, hailing from the parish of St. James, boy, Gabriella, you're 23 years old. However, when I look at a brief bio of you, it seems as if you have lived an extra 23 years with all the things that you have done and accomplished. Head girl, junior counselor, and you continued in your leadership roles while serving as Hall Chairwoman for the Mary C. Cole Hall and Vice President at the UWI Mona Guild of Students. Now, and I suppose, I don't know if because your parents are teachers, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, perhaps?
Now, let's say teachers' kids are very enough.
Yeah.
But,
for the right reasons.
I guess so. My parents have always encouraged me to be involved, to take education seriously.
Yes.
So I guess I would say that some of that motivation to serve comes from them.
Yes, definitely. Now, practically a week later, Senator, how does it feel? I have to talk about that momentum first before I get into the course that you have ahead of you. How does it feel?
I'm still getting accustomed to hearing Senator Gabrielle Morris.
Yes.
But it's indeed a humbling feeling.
Yes.
To even have been considered. I'm feeling a great sense of responsibility, because I believe that I represent the voice of a generation.
Yes.
I believe that there's so much inspiration that comes from my experience. Mm-hmm. Young people have been reaching out to say that they now see this as something that is possible for them. And so it's a tremendous responsibility that I have, but I'm feeling excited for the journey ahead.
Yes, definitely. And Senator, I couldn't have you here this morning without asking this question. You have, for me personally, I see you as assertive. I've watched a few of your clippings, and some of the things that you have mentioned that you want to take on in your role. What do you say, however, to the critics that have said that, you're too young, you have not had the experience and the knowledge to take up this role? What do you say to them?
Well, you're never gonna have everybody on your side.
Yes. True.
And for me, it's important that I realize that and not allow it to hinder how I will perform or represent.
Yes.
So I understand fully the notion of experience or inexperience, and for me it's just about owning that I'm a young person. I'm young, and I'm positioned perfectly, I would say, to represent the 378,000 young people between the ages of 15 and 29. Mm-hmm. I think that they need to be represented at the table. Their issues need to be heard.
Yes.
And so who better to represent them than a young person?
Yes.
And so, as I said, I'm pleased to be in this role. I'm pleased to carry this mantle.
Yes.
And so young persons own a voice, to have young persons join the conversation. Yes. And that's what I want to encourage through my appointment. I want young people to be a part of the political process. I want their views to be heard and their positions to be known in the wider space.
Awesome. So definitely not perturbed at all. You're pursuing your master's degree in communication for social and behavioral change. In terms of that, how will you use this, your studies, and overlap that in some of the senatorial focus? I know that women and children, that is one of the focus in year one. How will you use some of that to assist?
Right. So my program takes into consideration a lot of social policy.
Yes.
It comes from having an understanding of the social sphere, and I think that's important to note when you're passing legislation.
Yes.
To have an understanding or a good perspective of the issues that are affecting people and are affecting Jamaicans.
Yes.
And I believe that my program, it encourages me to do just that.
Yes.
So when I'm coming to the table, I'm coming with a good understanding of what Jamaicans are experiencing and what life is like for the ordinary Jamaican. And so I believe that will assist me in making laws that are balanced, laws that are equitable, laws that take everyone into consideration.
Yes. And one particular interest, one particular focus that I will zoom in on, there are a number of them here in terms of the focus in year one. The one that would stand out and quite so, particularly I'm representing a radio station here, the creative industry. It speaks to researching and to supporting policies for young people entering the industry, general youth advancement. So this takes you out of not just talking about women now, but talking about young men and young women who are going into the creative industry, not just necessarily entertainment, but I'm thinking writing, I'm thinking art.
Right.
What are some of the plans that you have? Because I think that was one of the biggest criticisms, I think, coming out of this election, that there wasn't much plans that was mentioned for the creative industry.
Well, I love that you brought that in, that it's not just about women and girls, but we also want to include all young people. This platform is to encourage all young people.
Yes.
And in the creative industries, one thing that stood out to me is that we need support for young people who are going into these areas.
Yes.
I believe that a lot of emphasis has been placed on traditional areas, medicine, law.
Yes.
But when our young people step out and say that, hey, I want to be a writer, I want to be a filmmaker, I think that we need to put in place systems that will encourage them to follow that passion. And one such way is just providing support, providing financial support, providing program support that will help them to get in touch with other persons in the field. I believe that we have to capitalize on our human resources, and our young people, they're bright.
Yes.
They're so brilliant and full of potential, and we need to support young people regardless of the area that they might choose to pursue. And so I believe that the creative industry is one such that we need to capitalize on a little bit more.
Definitely. And of course, what's your first line of duty? So we've allowed you now to be to bask in the moment, but we know that there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work to be carried out. What's going to be your first line of duty?
Well, we still have issues that we have to take on that were before the Senate already.
Okay.
And so we still have that to tackle with. But I wouldn't want to put them into any chronological order.
Okay.
But once I get at my time will come when I'll be able to speak on the issues that I'm passionate about. But for right now, I'm trying to learn a lot in a very short space of time.
Yes.
But I believe that I will be able to add my voice to some valuable conversations, and so I'm ready and looking forward to that.
We certainly believe so. You're definitely not perturbed either by any critic. I mean, I like the fact that you said, listen, your appointment is not a mistake. It's an opportunity to represent the youth. And in stating that, what is your message to fellow youths this morning that are listening?
I'd say to every young person, well, I've been saying it, that this is not so much about me. It's about every young person who never got the opportunity to see somebody that is like them, somebody who is their age in Parliament or in the Senate. This is a prime opportunity to say to them that your voice is relevant. Your voice is needed. And I'm hoping that through my appointment that other young persons will be able to join the conversation. Other young persons will be involved in the process. So it's opening the door, it's shaking the table for young persons to get up and get excited about nation building, about impacting their country. And I'm so happy that there's this platform now for a lot of young people to be excited and get involved. I'd say to young people, never lose sight of your dreams, never lose sight of your passions. Own your passions and develop them and go forth to make an impact in others and in the lives of others.
Yes.
That's critical for young people.
Senator, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you so much for your message. Thank you so much for also embracing all the things and all the issues I think that a lot of young people will be facing or have been facing. And we look forward to see how well you are definitely going to be representing that.
Thank you so much for having me.
All the best, Senator. And
All
thank
right.
you for making it Sun City. All right. So the youngest senator in Jamaica's history, Senator Gabrielle Morris, she has declared that, listen, her appointment was no mistake. It's an opportunity to represent the youth. At 23 years old, she is in the upper house. Girl power, we say. All right.